Greetings and a very warm welcome to GlobalSBM Business Talk. Today, we are excited to welcome Mr. Tafhimur Rahman as our guest speaker. Mr. Tafhimur is an impactpreneur, a researcher, and a communication professional with over a decade of experience in community development, youth empowerment, and nonprofit management. He is an associate fellow at the Royal Commonwealth Society and the first Bangladeshi Youth-IGF Fellow of Internet Society. He is also a scholar at the University of Hong Kong. Over the years, he has been involved with UNESCO, Howard Project for Asian and International Relations, HPAIR, Global Entrepreneurship Bootcamp, and BRAC in several capabilities. He is also a visiting fellow at Lebanese American University and founder of Act for Displaced, a think tank that works for the right of displaced people around the world. Thank you so much for joining us, Tafhimur, and the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Varshu. Thank you so much for the introduction. I'm so glad to be here today. Particularly, I will talk about communication skills for leadership roles. So I believe all these MBA students who are currently already business leaders or those who wants to move into that business arena or start their own business or scale up their business. So I believe as a communication skill, as a tool for their growth in terms of business or getting into a business profession, I would like to outline those skills in terms of communication, how they can utilize communication skills into their business prospects. So I would like to share my screen now. Can I?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, as I have said, that's our topic for today. So today we'll talk about specifically, as far as I have heard, our MBA students consist of several people from several stages of their business and career. So I will try to make sure there are skills for every stages of those people. So yeah, let's move into that. So before we start, let's first do a little bit of brainstorm that will take just 5 to 10 seconds. That is to rearrange the following sentence. So you have like 10 to 15 seconds. Just rearrange the sentence, and once you're done, just text into the chat box. Yes. Yes, all of you are right. Correct. So yeah, let's move into the next segment. So types of communication. We already know, but I would like to iterate again. There are two types of communication. First one is verbal, and another one is non-verbal. So in terms of verbal communication involves words using both written and spoken to deliver a message. And non-verbal communication, on the other hand, that comes in many forms and includes our facial expressions, body movements, hand gestures, signs, and symbols, as well as the way something is said. For instance, pitch, tone, our connotation, our hand gestures, and intonation, eye contact, etc. So silence is also another form that is overlooked yet so powerful, and it is a powerful non-verbal communication because it opens space for connection to occur, And verbal and nonverbal communication work in concert to convey messages in everyday conversation and in forms of artistic expression such as painting and music. So as I said, I would like to have something for our MBA students, that those who are in different stages of their business career. So for new business owners and young professionals, the first skill from my experience, that is enthusiasm. So it is something that you must have if you are a new business owner or a young professional in a business, because enthusiasm makes it clear for others to have that trust in you, to have that trust that you have commitment for those particular project or social problem that you are addressing, or a business that you are operating, whether you are fully committed or not. So enthusiasm makes sure that to have that perspective among people, to have that trust on you, that you are committed to address that problem, that business you are operating. So enthusiasm is something that you need if you are a new business owner and young professional. In the long run, it will definitely help you to make connections with your enthusiasm and go a long way in your business career. Second one is clarity. So I will talk about it a bit more in the next slide, but clarity, what we think of clarity is clarity of message, how we convey our message, whether it is understood by everyone that we have conveyed to. So it is important that we make sure that our messages are clear and easily understandable by others. And without having that clarity, pure clarity, there might be some misunderstanding. So we would like to definitely avoid that as business owners. So it is quite important that there are clarity in the messages a business owner or a business professional conveys. Next one is persuasion. I was looking to the session of yesterday that I saw that there was a in-depth session on persuasion. So I won't repeat those again because I loved the session of Mr. Professor. So persuasion is, again, it's everywhere. Persuasion is a crucial skill for every individual, for their career development and for business owners to scale up their business. So definitely persuasion is a crucial skill for new business owners and young professionals. As I was talking about clarity, so let's just see an example that if there's a communication gap or there isn't any clarity, so what happens? So let's just look at the video.
Okay, so what do you think it is? Let me get a picture of what the word was.
So if we look at the instructions, it was like, I rode the bike and fell. So there was the communication, the way it was conveyed. If we look at it again, and it was the last message that was perceived by them. So see the differences in understanding. So there were definitely gaps over the course of communication cycles. The initial message was definitely lost. And if you see, that's where the clarity comes in. And it is quite important for business owners, for businesses, entities to have that clarity in their messages. That's why I often refer direct communication with your stakeholders. That's more important than going through all those cycles or bios to reach your potential user groups. So as I was talking about new business owners and young professionals, there are two key creative skills that I would like to suggest. As business owners, we often, in the beginning of a business, we often run out of funding, or we often try to, look after as much as possible things by ourselves because of that funding sources. So for that reason, to grow a business, visual design, which is graphic design, and video editing is kind of must for promotional options. So there is one platform, that is Canva. I believe most of you know, where you can go and design at free of cost. It's the free platform, offers a lot of options for you to curate your business materials and design in a way to reach your target customers. And another video editing platform, that is Wondershare Filmora. There is also a free version of this, but there is an option for unlimited lifetime payment option, which costs only $70. I recently started learning video editing through this platform, which is Wondershare Filmora. So I have been using Canva since 2015. Even right now, though we do have a designer, but still I try to design whenever I think of something, creative that I try to design in my own time. So I think it is a pretty good platform for the young entrepreneurs, business owners to get started with their designs and promotional materials at free of cost. It will definitely save you money, and as well as provide you with options to scale up your business with less costs. So let's move into the next one. So now, what about the mid-career professionals? Those who are in business for 5 to 10 years, or in a career where now they are into a transitioning phases. So for those, I have identified these skills. First one is public speaking. Definitely, you are in a mid-career position, you are expected to go and deliver presentations, meetings, attend meetings, and network with people, potential investors and clients. So definitely it is something that you must have in terms of scaling up your business or making collaborations. So public speaking is a skill that's important for everyone in a business. So it is something that leads to generate leads as well as a new sales business opportunities. So those who are in mid-careers, they must have public speaking skills to collaborate with other business partners and stakeholders. Another one is email communications. So if we look at the current business trends, email communication is an important tool for communication, for operating official business purposes. And it is something that we often not take that seriously in terms of communicating or reaching out to our potential partners. If you see, it is cheap, or if you use the business segment one, which is, for instance, Google Suite, it costs very, I believe it's below $10 per month, I guess. So either you can use the Gmail one that is free. So email communication is something that that has that significance to scale up your business, to reach out potential customers, but it has to be done in a way that looks professional. For instance, most of the business emails that I have received, in some of those emails, I often lack that their signatures. So it is something that basic things, yet it matters. So while communicating with business partners, potential stakeholders, or clients, you must make sure that there are signatures, the messages are to the point, concise, and there are definitely call to action in those email communications. So it's up to you whether you can make the best out of this option that is available for free out there. The next one is report writing. So it is something that we often struggle in terms of generating reports. For instance, quarterly report, monthly report, because these reports are quite essential for making business decisions, as well as whenever one investor wants to invest in a particular firm or company, that investor definitely will look into the reports, sales reports, monthly business reports, what have been the challenges. So report writing is one of the crucial skills for mid-career professionals that will definitely provide the management with an outlook to make decisions and go into a direction where the business will have better opportunities in future. So it is something, and for pursuing new products or planning for new business scopes, there is something called concept note development. So again, report writing and concept note development, writing this type of documents. So it is another crucial skills. So that will definitely help a business entity to grow and to reach potential stakeholders or maybe investors. The next one is listening. So as we have said, like listening skill is something that every business leader or mid-career professional or everyone should have to be a good communicator, because listening is something that kind of provides the speaker that kind of assurance that other persons, the listener, is giving importance to that person, that listening to that person's messages with utmost importance. So that person will feel comfortable sharing their messages with that person if that person listens carefully. For instance, if someone's telling me something, sharing me something, and I'm just scrolling through my mobile and just nodding my head, so that will kind of provide a negative feedback about my listening skill or my situation, that I might not be giving that kind of attention to that person. So it is important that listening skill is possessed by those mid-career professionals, so that it is well observed or well perceived by those who wants to share their messages with us. So next, seasoned business professionals. So well, before talking about the seasoned business professionals, what I meant by this is those who are already well established, those who wants to just scale up their business, those who are in the just management level and their organizations or business are running smoothly by a solid, strong team. So what kind of communication skills they should have or possess, or generally what kind of skills they do have. So generally at their level, what happens is observation and listening skill again. So they tend to observe the situations, market trends, and they listen to their team members, listen to what other stakeholders say, and that eventually leads to making decisions for their business, which is the second point of our business skill presentation, that is decision making. So definitely in that stage of their career, they're in a situation when they observe, they listen to people, and they make decisions that will be for the betterment of the company. And lastly, negotiation. Negotiation for scaling up their business with potential collaborations, with potential partners for further business agreements that will bring fortune to their business, that will bring in more customers, that will bring in more opportunities for those everyone involved in that business. So these are the key skills that I have identified for seasoned business professionals. Again, if we go back to that young professional one, that is over the years during my professional journey and as a communication professional, and I faced that most of the people can speak in terms of operating business, but when it's about writing or persuading people, so that's where the fun comes or challenging part comes, because for business professionals, what happens is like I presented my business ideas to several business competitions in my country and in abroad. So what happened is like the investors wanted to look at my sales reports, my impact level, my future goals, budgeting, and everything. So that's where the presentation skill comes, how you design your presentation. And one of the big mistakes that we make in our presentation, that is to put many texts in our presentations instead of just visuals. So that's another thing that we make mistake in terms of presenting something to investors or in a competition in your country or abroad. So that is something we have to keep in our mind while presenting our business proposals to a particular investor. Coming back to the persuasion one. Well, again, persuasion, I have already said, persuasion for mainly business owners, it is quite important for those owners to persuade people to change their behavior, to shift their focus from another product to their products. So that's where the business tools comes in, how you utilize those tools that I have mentioned, these two tools for designing your promotional materials and your promotional video materials through that Filmora platform. So using these two materials, you can definitely promote your product at free of cost. And if persuading people, you have to be strategic in the way you communicate with your potential target groups. So that requires a lot of, again, market research and a lot of things that I won't discuss today. But I wanted to just say that persuasion is one thing that every business owner must have in terms of growing their business and scaling up their business. So I tried to be concise as possible with the relevant skills for different stages of people. So now I would like to have your questions if you have any. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tafhimur, for the wonderful session. Now we are open to any questions if we have from our student side. Yes, Ms. Nilima, you can unmute yourself.